The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the Panther. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as the tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season to people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
Oh, you mother skunks. We back. Niggas is tired. That's your boy, the man. That DJ named Ace 5. Forget all that long talking. We back with the starting five. As always, don't check out the Wrestling is Trash podcast if you can see the icon back next to Jamal's head. But I forgot to change that out because we need y'all to hit that QR code up there. But also, check out Wrestling is Trash. We do a dope thing every week. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about this morning. So I'm going to pass it off to my right.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your man, JG. Pleasure to be with y'all brothers again. A nice crisp fall morning. It's a good Sunday. You know, my Giants won this morning, so all is well. You know, won that game in London. You know, the worst 4-1 team in the league, but they're 4-1. And that's all I can be happy about, even though we may have a plethora of L's waiting. We're not going to talk about that this day. We're going to talk about that W. I'm going to enjoy my morning spirits.
Word O. Peace to you. And yeah, we're going to get into that after you introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, I didn't play with passing.
I said that's how you introduce yourself. A plane was passing in your room.
He said a plane was passing, then he bowed, bro.
It's Kennedy, man. He's still giving me fits over here, man. I apologize.
It's Big O right
in the building. The boy Big O in the building. I'm also enjoying my little red cup special. Yeah, Joe, Giants won. Chelsea won yesterday. You know, with Yankees waiting on their opponents. Everything is good, man. It's a good day, man. I love these crisp fall days, man. You know, these fake summer days. I love them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a fake summer day because it's like sun beaming on my neck right now, so my back feels hot, but it's a nice, cool, comfortable breeze, man. Like I love the heat, but hoodie season is it for me. Like even though when it gets to like the 20s and the 30s and all that shit, I'm still kind of only wearing a hoodie outside with maybe a couple layers of underneath. But like I don't know. I hate jackets. I hate fucking dress clothes. I hate everything except for, you know, I can't walk around naked because I got all daughters. You know what I'm saying? But clothes is subjective for me. But hoodies is the shit.
Yeah, I got nothing but hoodies, man. I love my hoodies, man.
Same here, man. Hoodies on a nice crisp fall day. Hoodies are just kind to the fat man, bro. It's just facts. It's what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this weather is perfect. So yeah.
So I hate not to promote any companies out here, man. But what's the name of it? Roots of Fight. Yeah, no, Those they make some banging ass hoodies, man. Real comfortable,
They
soft to the skin.
comfortable. Yep.
Yeah, I love it, man. Everything got Roberto Clemente on it and Muhammad Ali and all that. Ric Flair, all those Ric Flair t-shirts and hoodies. I'm all for it, man.
Dope. Yeah, she and you know what's funny? Like I seen it I forgot the woman's name on TikTok, but she was asking like what's y'all problem with us like it talking about this hoodie season and what's y'all problem with us taking y'all hoodies like and I was just like see I was like I'm glad because in my house like my wife don't take my hoodies. My daughter takes all my damn t-shirts because she sleeps in them or just stays around the house with them. And then like if she don't find her mother's hoodies, she took mine. But now the dope thing is it was the Star 5 podcast hoodie, so she's advertising our shit all around school and all that, so whatever. But she's the one on the hoodie stealing shit. Like, and like growing up, I've never had like I could say growing up because I've been down with mine for 20 years. We never had that issue. She never stole my hoodies because she's way smaller than me. And so she would just be like, well, where's mine? And so like I would get her, like I'd get her one. She got a matching one of when I played for the job team when we had a team. She got one with her name and number with Dinkins on the back and my number. You know, freaking the Star 5 hoodies. She got her in her size. That's the one my daughter steals now. She don't steal mine, but everything else would be swimming on them. So they don't. I don't know. I don't know if y'all been through it, but I don't go through the woman stealing my hoodie phase that they claim happens. I don't know about y'all, but I don't go through that.
Maybe my old joints, but there's a certain few of my hoodies that just off limits. The real comfortable crisp joints, that nah, no, but that's for me. That's the comfort. That's the joint that make you feel comfortable and relaxed during the fall. And like, don't touch them. They got nice soft fleece lining in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The off colors like beach blue or something like that, or like a color like Amako got on or whatever, something like that. You can't touch me.
yeah. Now I've been lucky. You know, ain't never had nobody try to steal my hoodie, man. I've been lucky.
Makwa got the same color as Mark Henry's retirement jacket on right now.
Marking the coral, man. This is coral.
Make sure that there's no John Cena types around you because you're gonna you be psych I lied and bust them over the head with something.
Speaking of wrestling, man. I passed, like I texted y'all earlier. Speaking of wrestling, I passed through Comic-Con on Saturday, and it's probably my last one, at least at the Javits Center. There's just too many people. I'm too old. But,
well, good segue. Perfect segue to show y'all that once again we are going to be at J1Con this year.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be at J1 as you see the dates right there. November 4th to the 6th at the Showboat Hotel. Y'all could if you're gonna stay down there, you could reserve your rooms now and pay later. He's got the link at the bottom of the page. But you know what? For people that are checking out now and have questioned it, let's give you what is J1.
People know me as J Rich. People know me as Spider-Man.
It's the homie Jason.
I own J1 Studios, which is an entertainment hub where we make comics, we make games, we make music. We also work on other projects with other studios. I happen to be a director, a voice actor, a storyboard artist. I'm even an entry in the Encyclopedia of Black Comics by Dr. Sheena Howard. And it's an encyclopedia that showcases influential black folk in the comic book industry. And on top of all that, I own J1Con. J1Con is an animation and gaming expo. Right now, I guess it's noted as one of, if not the longest running Black-owned anime conventions in the country, owned by me. It's 100% Black-owned. My focus for the convention was to give people, honestly, just can't afford to go to the big Comic-Cons, so they may have large families or whatever. I try to give them as much of that big convention experience but give it to them at an affordable price. And I want to I added stuff like edutainment, like voice acting workshops where you can learn how to voice act and how to be a voice actor in not just anime, but in video games and anything. We also have the Blackfinity Gauntlet, which is it's a creator content summit that's also like a networking event for people of color. We also have a music festival. So I like to put different types of music together, but I also like to showcase different types of people, to show different walks of life. One of the things I like to also showcase is that we have a lot of gaming. We have video game tournaments. We provide VR simulators. We bring back some of the old school stuff so people can play retro games. So the gaming is a heavy thing in the convention, as well as like animation, because we'll bring in stuff that you don't normally see. You'll meet directors, storyboard artists that work on stuff for Warner Brothers, stuff for Cartoon Network, stuff like various anime. The con started in 2012 at Sushi House right off of South Street in Philadelphia. And we had about 200 people, and it was a blast. I had live music there. We have video game tournaments. We always have to have video game tournaments or video games in general because I'm a big video game fanatic. I'd say throughout the history of it, we have an average about 2,000 to 3,000 people that come out and enjoy J1Con. But it feels more like a family and more like a family gathering than an actual convention. I would say it's like a blend between a convention and a cookout, and we just have a blast. Then, people have, met their love of their lives through the convention. Some people grew up in the convention. I ran into people who like saw me on the street and were like, I went to your con when I was a little kid. My mom took me there, and now I'm coming back again because I can't believe that, all this stuff. And then they were just in love with the idea of creation and game development, animation and comics, that now they're actually getting into this stuff. The fact that the convention has inspired people to become game developers, animators, comic book artists, voice actors, that's just an awesome feeling. Overall, just want to thank everyone that has come to support the convention. A lot of people don't know these huge conventions that you see now, when they started, they were small, tiny conventions. And it was the support that made them these massive conventions that you see now. Thank you all for supporting J1Con.
That's that. Y'all got a 4-minute brief history on the convention as a whole. He mentioned and dropped the name of what we are a part of and what we are about. That's the Blackfinity Gauntlet. We're only a few weeks away from that. So within the coming weeks, I will reveal to y'all what we will be doing with this year's Blackfinity Gauntlet. As I mentioned, it's not going to be panel driven this year. I think it's going to be more fun and just networking. I think it's just going to be a hour to 2 hour block of just fun and networking, because this is his 10th anniversary with the convention. It's the first one back post-pandemic. And so I don't feel like beating y'all down with the talk. That's just personally me. He's got a lot of other people, as he mentioned. Every year there's somebody from Cartoon Network. There's somebody who's done big voiceovers. He actually just did a reveal on his Instagram the other day. A guy who's done the voice of Akuma over several animated Street Fighter movies is going to be there. Like he gets some great names there that you need to listen to. And usually with this summit, with the Blackfinity Gauntlet, it is usually a discussion. But I said this year, we're going to just have some fun and just celebrate the return of J1, celebrate the return of Blackfinity, to then set up for next year when we'll bring back panel discussions and fun. So if y'all can make it, be there November 4th to the 6th, we there. And that's that, man. I had to drop that video on y'all because the time is coming closer, y'all. So this should be a good time and perfect way bringing in that the New York City Comic Con, Jamal, because yeah, I've only ever been twice. I've only ever been twice. And after that second time we went right before the pandemic happened. I think we went the year before then. And like I didn't feel like staying in there. Like it was just get in, see some shit, get out. But if you're a person that's got to spend all day, go to the panels, like then that's cool. If you could even get a pass to get into the panels, like it's crazy. I still want to do San Diego though. San Diego is like a pipe dream. It still seems impossible unless you get in with like a company, but I still want to try that one out.
No, it's definitely cool. It's got something for everybody in a lot of different genres and areas of entertainment, which is dope. But for me, it was just the crowd, and it's not the con itself. It's me. I'm just old. I'm just getting old and tired, and the giant crowds wear me out, man. That's all. But it was cool, and I only dropped that to say as soon as I walked in, the first table there, it was Rakishi and Ron Simmons.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Damn.
So I was like, yo, Rakishi, you still like he wrestling ready, bro. So, but no, that was pretty dope.
That's dope. Yeah, you know what too? I'll be honest with you too. Like, I've kind of slowed down from even thinking about the Reed Pop Company stuff because what was it, 2018, when my first hosting of the Black Trinity Gauntlet, they tried to come through and try to like take out J1 Con by putting the Keystone Comic Con the same weekend as J1 Con in Philly.
Yeah, that's kind of whack.
And they got the venue that Philly dissed my man Jason on. Like they was like, nah, they ain't going, they couldn't give it up to him, which made him again, in turn land the showboat, moving him out of Philly into Jersey, but then all the reveal that at the convention hall that he was trying to get, they gave it to the Reed Pop Company because they're New York, San Diego, they're the big con. They are the biggest con, you know what I'm saying? And I think my man strategized well enough now that when the Keystone one happens, J1 isn't happening at the same time. So, yeah. So I kind of slowed down from going to those because of pause riding with my mans and them, you know what I'm saying? And especially being a part of it. I mean, it's not like we can't go. Like, if I wanted to go, I'll go. But it's just that, like, it's that personal level of support, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like how with the whole cancel culture bullshit, like these people can't get canceled. They can't generally get canceled. It's up to you as an individual.
I think Bill Burr just dropped a gem on that about not really being canceled. And, that it's kind of a state of mind. I think Bill Maher was trying to get him to go on a rant with him about wokeness and cancel culture and whatever. And Bill Burr just shut it down. He was like, okay, he said people are mad for about 30 minutes, but every time somebody tells a joke at a show that's supposed to get them canceled, if you ever notice at the show, the joke lands and people laugh. So, no, it was all good though. I mainly hit the Comic Cons, for the vintage toys. Once I got my 2 or 3 G1 Transformers, I was ready to go.
Yeah, I feel you. Like one of my boys used to always go traditional. He probably went this year because he was on vacation, but it was run into the pop figure stand first. Now the first year I went, I think it was 2012. I got the 4-day pass from my man Sean, who had, this is when scalping was a thing before they switched it up. He had a whole stacks of passes. I forgot how many 4-day passes and this is when they still did the 4-day pass. Now they rape you by getting individuals. But I did the 4-day pass. I went with my nephew on Thursday, and then I think we went as like a family on Sunday. Like family, like myself, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, all the little ones that didn't have to pay to get in, you know what I'm saying? Like we went crew deep like that. But that Thursday, I saw a die-cast metal Voltron. and I think they had it on sale for just about 100, maybe a little more. I told my wife about it. We went back that Sunday. The shit was gone, and then she tells me,
Oh,
"Oh well, I
yeah.
came back. I came with y'all because I was gonna buy that for y'all. Buy that for you. That was gonna be your birthday present or Christmas." I was like, "Motherfucker," because I want that shit so. I want the diecast metal Voltron so bad again.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, because me and my brother, fortunately, when it came out in the 80s, my parents somehow, some way got one for each of us. And we wasn't growing up rich in the slightest. But when there was certain times of the year, certain things they did try to come through. I guess mainly because my birthday was Christmas Day too. But I had my own full five lions. My brother had his own full five lions.
That's what's up.
Wow.
That's still my favorite toy to this day. I'm on the hunt for. So what's y'all joints now that we talking about it? What's y'all favorite shit that you to this day like you don't have, but
Mhm.
you want to try to go back and get?
So I got a Voltron. My bad, yo. I got a Voltron, right? And it's an original joint from way back. It wasn't that first series though. It was the Matchbox safe joints. It wasn't the Lionbot joints that came at the Korean stores that had all the projectiles and shit that was kids was choking on. That's what I really wanted.
That's
Yeah.
what I had.
So, but my joints is still Transformers. Luckily, I still got all the GI Joe stuff I had when I was a kid. You know, it made it through the years. But two Transformers specifically. One is Shockwave, the original Shockwave that had the 9-volt battery. That joint is hard to find, especially in good condition. And then the second one is Jetfire or Skyfire, which was just a mold that they had bought from Robotech, and
Yep.
they were selling Jetfire. So trying to find those two, every time I've seen them at one of these cons, the price has been like above 250. You know what I mean? And I always said, okay, I'm gonna go grab that. And once I went back to the ATM to go get money when I saw it, I came back, gone. The second time, I was in communication with one of the toy dealers that was going to be there beforehand. He said, "I got X, Y, and Z of all these. I'm going to be there. Come to Comic Con this day." Bam, fam. And this was 2018 actually. So I showed up at Comic Con. I'm there, and we was one person in front of us. We got to the table, a dude and his 5-year-old kid. And I told the dude, I said, "Hey, I'm Jamal." We said, "Hey, Jamal, hold on. Let me just finish helping this guy, and I get to you." Right? Boom. And this dude was taking forever, fam. This dude bought the whole table for his kid. He dropped like $3,500 for some kid that was 5 years old, which immediately turned me into Mr. Glass from Unbreakable when he was trying to sell that painting. So how old is Jacob? This is a piece of art. Fam, yo, I was grinched out for the rest of the day. Comic Con was with me. He bought legitimately a whole wave of all the top joints for that kid.
Wow.
That kid might have been 5 or 6, probably even know. He didn't want that version of Transformers anyway. So I was like, yo, man. And what could I tell the dude? I was like, yo, when I was here, he was like, man, a sale's a sale, bro. I had to make the sale. This is going to drop this money, you know? So.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, man. Like, that's bad business because, yo, you'd be like, nah, this one is for that man right there. We discussed and negotiated that already.
That was my fault because I didn't reserve specific ones. I just told him what I was looking for, and he told me what the inventory he had on them joints was.
Mm.
You know, but by
So
the time I
you're
got
giving them
there, so it's all good. It's all good. They got now at Comic Con the TF Source, which is a huge online store that sells everything from the 80s and 70s, or anything. And that's why I was buying a lot of my stuff from online. They now have a huge counter at Comic Con in New York and Philly. So I was able to pick up some gems on Friday. But that's my long-winded explanation of what my shit was.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
But I have a long list, man. I'll be honest with you. And, you know, but first off, yo, isn't it funny how Jetfire or Skyfire, like, he wasn't really promoted in the I guess the American side of Transformers, but he was he was like a big part of that whole lore,
Yeah.
right? And it was just something that was, he was an afterthought when it came to, the American side Transformers. But I digress. Serpentor.
Mm.
I always loved Serpentor, man, and his ship. I always thought it was cool. I had the toy back in the day, but I never had it. I don't think I ever had a ship. I don't remember having the ship. So yeah, if I can find that, definitely Voltron. I had a little mini Voltron, the one that didn't, break apart into the 5 lines, the black one. But
I remember those.
Yep.
Yeah.
C.H. Martin Woolworth special Jones. I think we had one of them too, but that shit was dope too, though.
We all had them, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want the big one, man. The ones that I could bring them down to the 5 lines, man. So those two. I had the Cobra. I had the Cobra jet, the black jet, the Raven. What
the
was
Raven.
The
Raven. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I had that. And it's funny, yo. I'll be honest with you. I just ran into it maybe a couple of years ago, boy, and it was in my brother's closet. If I can get another one of those, definitely. And
all the stuff you just named, you can find them joints easy. Vintage toy sellers everywhere, and they're not even trying to break you at the bank for it either.
Yeah. See, yeah.
And too, mentioning plastic Voltron, it reminded me of how I remember when Toys R Us was still a thing way back in, I think, the late 90s. They made like a 2 or 3 foot tall Voltron, but with like big thick lions, like they were like all like big blocks like this.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad now, thinking revisionistly, that I could have had that. I should have got that shit, because it was literally like, since my leg is down under the screen a little bit, like that shit was tall. It was almost like 2 or 3 feet tall, and it came in a big ass box. I think it was like maybe like a 30th or 40th anniversary, maybe. I forgot what anniversary it was back early then, but I'm still mad I didn't get that one. But the die-cast metal, like, you could it could be found. I know I could find it. I've searched it.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. But the ill shit, I see it on TikTok, Jamal. Did you see, since we on Transformers, the dude that was like, "Yep, I spent $800 on this Optimus Prime, the joint that fucking you talk to it and it transforms itself."
Yeah, man.
Talk about get kicked out the house for a purchase.
Man, there's some versions of Optimus Prime out there. There's 2. There's one that has a Pepsi trailer. Pepsi sponsored it, right? That's mad expensive if you find that in the box. There's an all black Optimus Prime, like jet black, all of it. That's huge if you can find that. Them Transformer resales, people are making a mint off them. There's a clear Starscream, and then there's 2 more of the Decepticon Interceptor jets that they never showed here, and one was an orange one called Sunstorm. That joint is like a G and a half right now. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff out there like that, man. And you know what else was money is them. Speaking of Voltron, Bandai used to make all them robots that were kind of them combiner robots that was popular in Japan. Wasn't as popular here. You could see them in the stores or whatever, but they had a whole line of them joints. And they kind of look like the vehicle Voltron, but different versions. But all those Bandai combiner robots, it's crazy,
That's the other one that I wanted that I never had. I found the Sunstorm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the joint I wanted, was the car Voltron, because that shit was like at least 11 to 12 pieces or something like that, right?
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Like, it took you a minute to put that together. That wasn't no quick form feet and legs, form arms and torso.
Right.
I never got into the cardboard, man. I guess I was such a the lion the 5 lion Voltron. I was such a fan. Like anything that was supposed to be like it, I just like completely dismissed it. I hated Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. I can't rock it.
Diet Voltron?
No. Go do the knowledge. Go do the history on it. Power Rangers was actually out before.
It was.
Voltron.
What?
Like it took me a minute because I was not. I mean, I'm a Voltron dude too, but it took me a minute to get over the fact that Power Rangers was actually out in some shape or form in like the 70s, I think, maybe before. But obviously,
Yeah, it was out there.
but it wasn't Power Rangers. It was in Japan, and it was I forgot the type of character they call it. But yeah, that type of shit has been out for a long time before, and I still look at them as Diet Power Rangers 2 in a way because of the Megazords and all that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I would say Power Rangers kind of jumped the shark after a little while, though. My daughter loves watching like fucking SPD, Dino Force, all that shit. Like me, I'm the OG until it gets to the green and the white. Because I was one of them dudes that was like 13, 14, but right in front of the TV, like, yo, who's this new Power Ranger coming? And the green one came out. I was like, badass. And then the white one came out. I was like, oh shit. And then that
you can't knock it though, man, because Power Rangers is like 7 generations deep, man. It had a longevity, so they found their formula works, so you can't knock them for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I guess once I reached a certain age, once I got past, like you said, like 13, 14, like Saturday morning cartoons was, to me, they was all whack. Like if it wasn't during the week, those weekday cartoons, they got all my love. G.I. Joe, Cops, Transformers, Mask. What else?
Mask was my shit.
Thundercats, Silverhawks.
Silverhawks.
It's because the mood and the tone of those things was more adult, was more serious.
Yeah.
Saturday was goofy.
Saturday was goofy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm. But these things were, and then even them joints that just had like one season, like Sectors and Jason the Wheeled Warriors and Centurions and all that shit.
Centurions, yo, you taking it back,
shit too, yo. I think we had a couple of the Centurions. Mm-hmm. I had this toy that was a brief, I think, 1 season show called Sky Commanders.
Oh yeah.
They ran on like pretty much like zip lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had the train that you had to kind of connect that ran on a belt.
Oh,
I
had
train joints. But we definitely
I remember that toy commercial.
I gotta find a picture. I think I have it online somewhere, but it was a picture of me. I think Ian might have been there. And shout out to my man Raymond, who was there. This was at my old house. And I'm standing there trying to fix the line of the Sky Commanders because we was trying to hang them up and run them in the house. I think I have a picture of me doing that shit. But there was some like, I like this conversation right here because this is bringing it back, but there was just, I know we all kind of had some dope shit. Like Centurions was dope as fuck. Just seeing them stand there and all the parts come on.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And
fucking
but yeah, man, like trying to and not catching the right time for when Ronin Warriors came out. And like shit like that. Like that was my shit, but it was hard to catch on TV because if you missed it, you missed it. That's fucking WMAC Masters. Remember that shit? It wasn't a cartoon, but it was like the Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat came out.
WC Matt, what was that on?
I forgot. That might have been like a Fox show, but
it was like what'd you call it? Shit, what was that show?
It was like American Gladiators.
It was like that.
It was like American Gladiators meets Mortal Kombat in like a martial arts show.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, as we talk about it, let me find a clip. I'm gonna throw it up. Fuck what YouTube is saying. You know what I'm saying? But let me find a clip. But WMAC Masters was the shit though. Like to me it was, but it was. Here we go. Let's see if we get. Yeah, there's an episode. I'll fast forward a little bit.
WMAC Masters. They're the world's greatest martial
See if it gives you
artists
the intro a
competing
little
for
bit.
the ultimate prize. What makes a champion? Behold these masters. In their lives, they've each encountered a turning point, a defining moment that set them on the course to greatness. Witness today that which makes a champion.
And they had to collect all them chips to
the
get the
turning
belt.
points of the masters. Hakeem Alston, former Dragon Star champion, at his turning point, endured great pain and suffering, and dramatically changed his life.
And each person represented like one of those icons up there.
The machine.
I haven't always been this machine-like athlete.
The
I
serious
should have never gotten so competitive.
It's about what you can.
You see, I've been practicing martial arts ever since I was a kid. By the time I was 7, I was competing in tournaments.
Yeah, it
all
was
over the
cheesy
country.
shit like that, but it looks cheesy now. But back then was the shit. Like
Yeah, man.
we gonna have to do an episode of like old shit like that, like shows like that with like fucking like rock and roller games. I'm sure y'all remember that shit. The roller derby show.
Oh yeah.
Teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That
That
shit was
shit.
crazy. But-
Yo, did y'all have? Well, shoot, we all from New York. Yo, remember Pix?
Nah.
What,
You
Pix
remember
11?
Pix on
Channel
on
11?
Channel 11? Yeah, it'll be like a little game or whatever, and you have to like it's like it was like Atari games, and every time oh man, it's hard to explain, but you had to keep saying Pix. Yo, this shit. I mean,
I don't remember that. We'll, you know what? Next
Wow.
episode, we'll look that shit up and we'll fucking talk about shit like that. Because I remember like thinking you're talking about that in a video game. Like now it's bringing me back to like fuck Nick Arcade,
Mm-hmm.
where the whole thing was like they would just play video games and had to score certain points in video game arcade machines. And I was like, yo, I used to sit back and watch like, yo, these kids suck. Like I could beat all of these fucking, like, yo, yeah, we gonna do a flashback episode like that. I think coming soon, like yeah, either next week or maybe right before the convention or something. But yeah, man, look, we almost spent 40 minutes talking about nerd and geek shit that we grew up on, man. We love this shit. I just straight up and down.
That's
You can
what's
tell
up.
we still love this shit.
yes, absolutely.
But what we also love is talking about controversy and what's being made a controversy that Amakwa let us know before the show that it just seems like some little baby bullshit, to be honest with you. And that was Eddie Robinson Jr. and Deion Sanders. Oh, let them know what was going down with that.
Okay, so apparently, Eddie Robinson Jr., no relation to the great Eddie Robinson from Grambling State. He had some problems with how Deion, well, allegedly, he had problems with how Deion Sanders operated before and during the game. Things like Deion not meeting him at the 50-yard line and giving him a handshake, before the game and chopping it up or whatever the case is. Things like Deion walking his team through their huddle in the beginning of the game. So yeah, he had problems with that. He had problems with Deion's backup quarterback running, still trying to score at the end of the game instead of taking a knee. So yeah, so that's why he did what he did at the end of the game. Shook his hand and then pushed him away. You come off corny, and not to mention he said a couple of other things, about
He ain't swag, right?
yeah, somehow how he ain't swag, and it's a money game. Or whatever. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Deion. I'm not saying they all should worship him like a god, but y'all need to know Swag knows what side their bread is buttered on. Swag knows the deal. Swag knows that Deion is the money guy. And I mean, for someone like Eddie Robinson Jr., no relation to Eddie Robinson, you need to relax.
Mhm.
You need to relax because you'll be going tomorrow and nobody will miss you. My opinion.
That part.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel Mr. Robinson though, because though Dion has only been a coach the last 2-3 years for Jackson State. There is a certain etiquette you're supposed to have now, and Dion should know this, being a Hall of Fame NFL player. But also to the little games that he played pregame gets used for intimidation factor. Gets used as an intimidation factor, like letting y'all know, like, we here. Fuck what y'all doing. We letting you know we here. But there is like unspoken rule and etiquette that you don't do that. That is disrespectful. But the way you gotta combat the disrespect is beat the piss out of them on the field and win the game. That's it. Like, go win the game. Don't get all upset and butthurt after the fact and then shake hand and push off. Like, if you won, you probably would have dapped them up and fucking hugged them. Like, yeah, and then said something in his ear. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is with them. I feel him getting upset. But to be honest with you, Mr. Robinson, this is football. Things can get a little chippy between y'all coaches and on field. So Jamal, it's like, I mean, it's whatever. I respect his feelings, but his feelings should have translated to his team beating them.
That part. Yeah. It's some gamesmanship by Dion. Um, Probably some stuff he probably didn't have to do. But at the same time, just circling back to what Marco said, Dion is money for the SWAC right now, and you just may have to eat that for a little while. The best way to combat that shit is to beat his team. You know what I mean? So yeah, Eddie might need to have to eat that. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Dion said that his rebuttal was that the team bus was late to the beginning of the game. That's why he wasn't able to shake his hand, whatever. I mean, we will never know. Like you said, Mayor, there's etiquette. So if Eddie Robinson Jr. had a problem with that, then okay, that's one thing. I get it. But for you to, he knew what he was doing. You do that. I think ever since Mangini and Belichick, everyone watches the after game handshake between two coaches, right? I think that was when it was first like really like a polarizing part of the game, per se. So he knew that everyone was watching, and he wanted to make a statement. And then afterwards you say that he's not SWAC when he's bringing in millions of dollars to this program.
His presence, just his presence
alone. Yo, all the away games, every away game, they sell out. They sell out because whenever Jackson State comes to town, they sell out. And then for you to say that is kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't, that part didn't sit well with me either because you know the game. So yeah, that's how I feel on it.
No, I feel you, and like I said, Senior Eddie Robinson Jr., which I guess his daddy's named Eddie Robinson too, but whatever. I want to know how there's no relation. I thought the late great Eddie Robinson did have a son that did coach. Didn't he have a son that coached Grambling for a little bit?
Probably an assistant coach there for years. Because looking at him, you would think that if that was him, that he would have been older. Because Eddie Robinson Sr., he was like in his 80s? He was like Paterno coaching, wasn't he?
He was like 110, bro.
Paterno was spry compared to him.
Well, and what's crazy was Paterno very well possibly could still be alive and still coaching if that ordeal did not go through. I'm one of
Well,
those who believe that that going
yes,
through that stressor like
yes,
advanced and sped up his life, his life,
yes.
and aided to killing him. I mean, well, he
I,
was
I, I,
dying.
I agree with you totally.
I just think that stressor that he was living through
Yeah, it definitely killed him. It definitely killed him.
definitely fast forwarded life a few thousands of years.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and dude is still in prison, yo, fighting. That's the crazy part about it, yo. Dude, the monster is still in prison, yo, proclaiming his innocence.
Well, in prison they keep them healthy.
Yes,
They
sir.
keep them healthy so
Yeah.
they can make the make the traditional license plates, or if you were in New York State, make hand sanitizer. Or to what I found out
Mm.
is the prisons in New York State make the diesel exhaust fluid that we use in our trucks at work.
Wow.
Yeah, they use prisoners for stuff like that. And like when we talked briefly about like what was it, Mississippi and all that, and how they do the for-profit prison situation heavy down there, is because like down there, some of those prisons were making furniture, office furniture, for other prison locations to sell.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they are responsible for the core craft industry.
Yeah.
You know, them hard ass soaps and shit like that, and the
Right.
fucking loose leaf paper tissue, toilet tissue. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Wow.
yeah, man. he definitely is staying alive because they are earning whatever dollar they can get off of his back. That's if he ain't running a gang in there. What
Yeah,
else?
man.
What else we got? What else we got? Because we could be almost done this week. We got a light one. I have more fun talking about the toy shit than anything that really is happening in the sports world right now because there hasn't been much that's been going down.
Not yet. We 2 weeks are still 2 weeks away from NBA. So right from the start of the season at least. So we could probably tap on that right before that season starts. And then I only watched the early games. So
I know what we needed to talk about that happened in the NBA.
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
remember now. Where am I going?
yeah. You know
Where we
you going with the Duff heard around the world?
and not even the two piece. It was a one hitter quitter.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
a one hitter quitter.
Yeah.
Draymond Green fucking rocked Jordan Poole's face.
Mm.
And whew, I mean, let me find a video while you talk about it.
Yeah, that was something. But you know, that's Draymond being Draymond. Although, uh that was a fight he knew he was gonna win. I mean, whatever. I mean, he's a goon, you know, and he does goon things. This ain't new for him. But and you know, I'm gonna defer to some of the NBA players that say well, stuff like that happens in practice all the time or whatever. But that shit was rough. Man, that shit was rough. He just man. So I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. But Poole gonna forever be mad about that, especially now that's out to the world. So
Nah, yeah, man. That's the problem behind all of this. Like, I'm waiting for the thing to. All right, it's just running through a commercial right now, but yeah, man. The problem behind all of this to me is the fact that this scrap got out. To me, that's
yeah,
the
Huge news
that's the
involving
real
one
issue.
of the NBA's biggest
And,
superstars.
let me. I found
At practice, Warriors teammate Jordan.
we don't need their audio take on it, but we're gonna get it anyway because the video didn't pop up the way it was supposed to. Let me try to. There we go. There we go. We got it now. All right. Let me get to this right real quick, and let's show this scrap between Poole and Draymond. This ain't it, Chief. They keep fucking showing me advertisements. I don't want your advertisements. There we go. Let's just
Huge
skip
news.
through.
Him right in the face, dropping him at practice. And we have video of the entire altercation. Now, this is crazy. These guys have been teammates since 20.
Yeah, we don't need the rest of the shout out to TMZ for that little clip, but we didn't need the rest of their audio commentary. We just had to see the rocket. And
Rocket punch.
you know what I'm saying? Just like what I understood of it is, and I'm personally sitting back waiting for more to come out about it, because realistically, I see it as Jordan Poole had to have said something to have provoked it. I don't care. Now, if Draymond was the one who started with the verbal shit and what's name clapped back at him, and then Draymond literally clapped him, that's one thing. But I don't think personally a veteran player like that is going to throw a punch at somebody if he started it all. That's just my vibe off of it. And that's the side that we don't know. Because so what I heard was it was just basic practice chippiness and running off at the mouth. And though they're all younger than us, but Poole is younger than Draymond, the way I can say that the younger generation, a lot of these kids think that they could fly off at the mouth. But as I responded in a comment on somebody's video in saying, well, if this was the case of somebody was talking shit and then he got dropped, in the words of the great Vast Air from Cannibal Ox, pop shit or get popped in the top lip. And to me, again, because we don't know all the behind the details of it, that's what it looks like to me, is that Jordan Poole popped shit, Draymond popped him in the top lip. Actually, that was a square ass punch straight to the chin and laid that motherfucker out. Like,
at least it looked like he tried to hold him up though, because he knew he dropped him. It looked like, he tried to hold him up a little bit. But yeah, that was a rocket punch. I mean, damn. I don't know what was worse, like that happening or whoever was recording, to put it out there. Like he must. I think he probably worked for the Celtics. The way he put that shit out there so quick.
Yo, what was Steve Kerr's response to all this? Anybody know?
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, because I guess eventually more details will come out. Who knows? He said something Dre didn't like. Who knows if it was in response to or sticking up for himself, or maybe he talked to Dre in a way that Dre ain't used to be being talked to. So who knows, man? But yeah, that was just a bad luck.
See, I was waiting for the video with that sound attached to it. I don't think anybody did it yet. I don't think anybody did it yet. But man, listen, to me, the biggest problem is the fact that video got out. Whoever the videographer was on that, Jamal, they need to be fired. They need to be banned from any other team ever again.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that the video came out, now the team has to acknowledge it. Now they got to do something about it. Now it's a distraction they don't need. It could have been an internal matter,
Yep.
But yeah, whoever leaked that, I think somebody was saying, I forgot why they're making a joke that Steve Kerr leaked it because he was still tight that Jordan did that to him.
Like, see, I told y'all this shit happens, but you didn't believe. Yeah, nah, man. I that's really my issue behind it all, because the Warriors did get out in front of it once it came out, and they said that this was an internal issue, this is an internal thing, and we're gonna keep it internal. Draymond got on camera, even apologized for it and everything. You know what I'm saying? He said him and Poole had a conversation and talked about it, discussed it. He apologized to him, and as you should do as a teammate, because yeah, you know what? You're supposed to be brothers on the court, on the field, whatever the case may be, but brothers go through this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my brother, we've never really fought. We had 1 or 2 fights ever. But that don't change the fact that we brothers. That don't change the fact that I still got his back. These were when we were fucking kids. They happened.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
I've had many arguments with other teammates, this, that, and the third here and there, but guess what? We are still teammates. Shit, I played football with a dude at quarterback I couldn't stand at the time, but he was my quarterback. I had to rock with him regardless. I was the center.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I never fought the dude, you know what I'm saying? But it was what it was. And the dude was a prima donna at the time. But now if I seen him now, it's yo, what up? What up? You know, I would give him the what's up. I didn't like people was like, yeah, I can't like I couldn't stand him on the field because as a leader, he wasn't that to me. He wasn't that good of a leader. But you know, I didn't hate the dude. And if we did fight, we never did, but if we whatever. But we're still teammates. And at center quarterback relationship, we need each other regardless. I would say, as y'all know how I preach about the offensive line, you need me more than I need you.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anyone who doesn't realize, you know, anyone who doesn't know that, just watch Any Given Sunday, and you maybe remember that scene where they all took a knee.
Yep.
And Jamie Foxx caught it. You know.
And that was they really him and LL really scrapped.
Yeah, they really scrapped.
Like for the scene, but behind the scenes, like they really went at it. But you know.
Yep.
Oh no, good callback though, because if anybody, even though it's a movie, if you need like any dose of realism, that was as close as it got next to the show Playmakers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was to me, Any Given Sunday was as close as real as it got, with the exception of the show Playmakers, because Playmakers was so real. The NFL told ESPN to get that shit off or lose our relationship.
It was too good.
Oh,
yeah. That's right.
I remember it vaguely. I gotta look for it on YouTube.
Yes, and it was maybe Jamal. It might have been like 8 or 9 episodes. I think it went one season.
And then it was too good. And
it was too real.
It was too real. I'm too real. Like it showed the battle. It kind of like Any Given Sunday, but like the quarterback story was a little different. Like it was like the aging quarterback that was still trying to hang on. The aging running back with the new like first round pick running back coming in, with Omar Gooden playing the new running back, trying to take the old head spot and building that level of competition. You know,
another Russell Hornsby part, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Russell Hornsby, man.
That's the black dude's name?
That's the older running back, yeah.
The older running back.
He's always, you know, usually he's playing somebody's distressed father now, but
right. Yeah, man, watch that shit. Like, if you want a dose of realism and shit like the Draymond shit, but in football, like, yeah, that Playmakers show, I love bringing it up because that shit was so dope, and that had me mad at the NFL because they canceled. They got that shit canceled because it was so real.
But it's I mean, it's weird because another network should have picked it up. Even Netflix, you know, should have picked it up, man. But
no, well,
it wasn't a Netflix back then.
This was an ESPN product. And like Jamal said, streaming wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah, it wasn't back then. Yeah, you're right.
Pre House of Cards. So
wow. Yeah. Okay.
It was House of Cards that changed the streaming game. So
streaming game, yep.
Yeah, that show was when ESPN decided to. I think that might have been like their first like dramatic series too. Like their first like foray into like, you know, series, you know, episodical dramatic television like that.
But if you think about it, they never did it again,
right?
Because they never did it again. Like as far as baseball, basketball, nah.
No, they found their lane, in the documentary.
In the documentary, 30 for 30s.
And they killed it. Which that's something too, man. I know we talked about it like early this year. We gotta start doing some 30-30 reviews. Like we gotta go back and go through them and start doing some reviews on 30 for 30s, because them shits, like I haven't watched all of them, but definitely at least the first 2 seasons. I know I watched every last one of them because them shits became appointment television. Like the SMU joint, broke probably was one of the most important ones. You know what I'm saying? Like
they have a new one out right now. The Dodgers, the Uncivil War, Dodgers and Yankees.
Yeah.
I gotta finish that. Yeah, I started. I gotta finish that. And Netflix just dropped Redeem Team Friday. They just dropped that last Friday. So
yeah, I need to check that out too.
Yeah, so those are 2 we gotta watch. Yeah.
Word up, man. But we done. I figured this was gonna be a light week, the way we behind the scenes went into today. But I'm glad we had to be the first 40 minutes of conversation because that just sparked too many memories that we're definitely gonna go over them shits next week, man. So build your list of shows. You know, like we'll talk about how we'll break it down. Like will we go like Saturday morning cartoon to after school cartoon,
right,
or after school show, then some of them rare gems like I said, the WMAC Masters, shit like that. Like we're gonna talk about some 90s and 80s TV shit.
Yeah.
That picks, I gotta look that up because I don't remember it.
Yo, I guarantee you when you look it up and you go on YouTube, you're like, oh, I remember. I guarantee you, yo.
Yeah, you know what? Channel 11, one of these social media networks had a vault on Channel 11 and all the old shit from Channel 11 from like 1959 to like late 80s and like all the classic shit. It was crazy.
Yeah. All the crazy old commercials.
Yeah, especially the local joints that we forgot about.
Milford Plaza.
Milford Plaza. Antonovich Furs. Oh shit, man.
Yo. Yeah, man.
The old Carvel commercial with the old alcoholic Polish dude narrating.
And who could ever forget Channel 11's game show for kids,
found-
TV Hits, airing
This is
during
what
the
you're
mini
talking
breaks. Lucky viewers called
man.
to play this game live.
Okay, you have 30 seconds to play. Just say picks to score by hitting the moving target. Ready? Go.
Oh man.
I don't remember
Channel
this at
11
all.
Yeah, me
broadcast
neither.
and
Get out of
video
here.
game over
And I
the
grew
air.
up in front of TV.
So to play by saying the word picks
Is that
in
cricket
the
or
play,
baseball?
activating the firepower. The more invaders you were able to strike, the more points you racked up, and the more prizes you could win.
That's right. It is Cougar. Congratulations. We'll be sending you
No,
a
I don't
$50
remember
US
this
savings
at
bond.
all.
Well, that's fun to
This
have
shit
a
is like
I've seen.
Hold
this
up.
is the grandfather of Twitch.
You was able to win the savings bond for saying picks. Like you was able, imagine whoever won that savings bond, imagine how much that joint is now.
Yeah,
If you
right.
didn't sell it. That's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna deep dive into shit like this next week. Whoever's joining us, whoever's coming on next week, better be prepared. Because we going there with it. I want to have fun, man. Like we going there. We going there. So no games of the week this week because you know what? Just watch them shits. Watch them all. Whatever you can make, or whatever you can make up. If you haven't been watching the 1 o'clocks already, if you wasn't up early in the morning to watch them Giants, which salute to y'all, man. I'm glad. I'm just happy y'all won because it was beating the Green Bay Packers. So now tomorrow on ESPN, all we're gonna hear about is what's wrong with the Green Bay Packers and not the Giants won.
Yeah, it is. And again, like I said, it's a good win. It's a big win. It was looking ugly in the beginning, like it was about to go left. But again, it's a credit to finally they got the right coaches. because the Giants defense been bailing this team out for all week, and it's still, we don't have a ton of great players. This team is not very talented at all. So that just tells you how good that coaching staff is, at least getting the most out of them players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what I saw was giving Saquon the ball early, and it was actually giving Saquon the ball in the crucial moments that won y'all the game.
Yeah,
because it wasn't Danny Dimebags at times, even though he actually made some smart choices, smart decisions while I watched.
Fam, because he can't run because he got that ankle injury, he played better football because he don't have to rely on them legs.
But he did. But when he did use them, it was effective for short yardage, first down plays. Like he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
But I still don't trust Danny Dimebags. Saquon looked like the only viable anything on that whole offense.
Hold on. Our wide receivers is depleted, So I mean, but yeah, whatever. We win in spite of Danny Dimes. Put it that way.
Yeah. I appreciate it this week. Let's just say that. I appreciate it this week.
But anytime we face a team, go ahead, Michael.
They said that Bridgewater is out for the game too, for the Jets game.
Okay. Sure. I don't know.
No surprise there.
Hey, look, whatever. I'm happy. We usually the Giants is mathematically eliminated from playoff contention for like the third week of the season for a straight decade. So, I mean, anytime we face a team that's decent on both sides of the ball, we're gonna lose. Those are just facts. Teams that are great on both sides of the ball is gonna whip our ass. But if we could just make it respectable and beat the teams that are in our range, I'm fine with that. It's a work in progress, man. That's all.
Because this is definitely a game we should not have won.
No,
on paper.
On paper, no, we shouldn't have won this. And it couldn't have happened to a better dude than Q Aaron, Q and Rogers. So
Con Air.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. As we wrap this up and we close out, I just gotta also, before we get final shout outs and all that, I gotta say big ups to the World Is Yours podcast. I was on their fantasy football episode this Thursday with the host DJ World Premiere and the man King Raymond, who he gave me my first win in that league last week. But it was a funny show. These cats, just in general, are fun. It's a dope pod. It's a funny ass pod because these niggas be going off on just hilariousness. So please go check out The World Is Yours. Like I said, check out the recent episode. I think it was called Fantasy Scheming. I was on that episode. I might be back on this coming Thursday with them, possibly, but definitely check them brothers out for sure. I'll start off with check us out on the QR code as always. Yo,
shout out to you guys, man. Great show. Yo, I enjoyed the reminiscing and y'all definitely gonna have me on YouTube later on, man. Watching these old episodes and all that. Special shout out to you guys, man. Mayor, my boy Jamal. Listeners and fans of the show, I appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next week.
That's what's up, yo. Great chopping with y'all, as you like I say every weekend, man. Good sports weekend. Yankees coming up. Knicks are looking pretty decent in preseason. Let's see what's what. Just respectable. Giants
Go
are
Chelsea.
Respectable. Go Chelsea, of course. Chelsea. We ain't gonna talk about Chelsea, but it was looking bad for a minute. But shout out to everybody listening. Looking forward to next week, man. To taking it back.
That's it. I need to dig more into Chelsea shit because I picked them as a team a while back, but like I'm not as invested. So, but we'll get there one day. But until then, peace. We'll see y'all next week.